action. That's like literally anything, like picking a pocket, punching a dude in the face, like doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
then we as a group figure out how that goes down. So it's, I don't know, like I think focusing on like knowing every single rule is, well, it's kind of a non-start because like I've been playing this game for a decade now, and like I still don't remember
Oh
every single
wow.
rule, but that's what the books are for. So, and I have pretty
Wow.
much all the books.
Yeah.
So, it's really just I always tell people it's like playing make believe, except there's like that one hall monitor dude in the corner going up, 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 up. Not exactly, not exactly. So,
Yeah. So are you you gotta be pretty amazing you can play this in alt space. I
I
mean that's kind
mean,
of different.
it definitely takes some getting used to. It is there's it's this version of D&D is like I guess a little bit more streamlined, mostly in like how you make your character, because you're playing the tabletop game. You spend like a couple hours like making your dude and like writing down your character sheet. This one we got a thing where you press
Yeah.
two buttons and you got a guy. So it's like you go in. We're level 7. I want to pick a wizard. Okay, click the wizard button. All right, I have a level 7 wizard. Done. 12 seconds later, you got a character. So
Nice.
that's the main thing that streamlines it. And the really the only other thing that like,
That's fun.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's like a couple
Okay.
other small
Yeah.
little things that don't necessarily work as well in VR as they do in real life, but not not anything really noticeable, I guess. Hey, Gemini, if
Hmm.
you are trying to talk, the room automatically mutes you as soon as you get in, so you might have to manually unmute yourself.
That was weird. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's like cooperative murder. Pretty much the ultimate pleasure. That's one thing I have kind of noticed about the difference between VR D&D and I guess real life D&D is that just the limited ability
You are so
to
noisy, Riley.
express yourself kind of makes you focus more on combat in D&D as opposed to like I guess exposition and role playing. Like you can still do quite a bit and definitely do a hell of a lot more than you can with like Roll 20 or something like that. But it definitely I find that my VR games become more tactical based instead of I guess storytelling based. Although that also might be a function of the campaign that I'm running. I've kind of realized over time that Horde of the Dragon Queen is not the most storytelling heavy campaign there ever was. So that might just be the context of the game that I play. But
I think is also part of the issue, Travis, is a matter that we don't have a consistent group.
yeah, that
And
is another
so
thing.
if you have to, if everyone there is only getting a summary of the
Yeah,
things that have happened
there's
over
no
the past like
familiarity.
12,
Yeah.
16, yeah. So it's as far as they are concerned, the most they can really do is just focus on the tactics side
Yeah, that's a
and
pretty
deal with
good
the
point.
individual encounters.
Yeah.
I think that's really why I've been the big one for the. It's sort of like I've been the biggest role player of the thing just simply because of the fact I'm the only one who has the concept
Yeah, and you have
of
like
what
you're the
we're
only person
actually
that has any
doing.
idea what the hell is going on.
I know.
It's like, hey, I'm pretty new to D&D. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's pretty easy to pick up. Anyway, 9 months ago, we started this story. You're gonna want to take a seat. We're gonna be here for a while, and like you tell them the story
It's
for like 2 hours. Like, all right, and that's how I met
a
your mother.
fly. You're on a flying castle. We're on a
Yeah.
flying castle? Yeah, it's not your castle. Whose
Yeah.
castle is it? Well, right now it's giants, but a dragon cult is using it. Oh, okay. So are we
Yeah.
friends with the dragon cult? No.
No. Hey, Michael, welcome. If you're trying to talk, for some reason this room mutes you whenever you get in, so you're gonna have to manually unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go. Thanks.
There you go. Hey, Michael, are you gonna be playing today or are you just watching?
I don't even know what's going on. I just got
Oh,
here.
we're
I
playing
just
some
saw
Dungeons
the
and Dragons, man.
invite.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I haven't done that in a long time.
Oh, this is
Dungeons
5th
and
edition, which
Dragons.
is probably the most well-designed one. I don't know which edition you're familiar with, but
The very first one.
oh wow, old school.
Nice. That's
Um,
always so
Very
fun.
old
Is
school.
like
Yeah.
people in alt space are so ranged in the age group and stuff. That,
yeah.
Like some people have never even heard of 4th edition, and we have some people who've already, actually played the original edition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like
We-
first
we
edition,
actually-
that is a rarity. I've gotten a few people who have played AD&D, which is, I guess, you'd call 2nd edition, but first edition, that is. I actually have a
Yeah,
old.
we actually built our own board. I mean, there
Yeah.
wasn't boards back then, so you build your own.
They really
We
just did
had,
not have a lot of products. It
foam
was
core.
much more theater of the mind.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I actually had an old first edition monster manual that I would always make fun of. I had like I guess you could call it like a Snapchat comedy series where I would just take pictures of monster manual entries from first edition and make like voiceover things for them, because really the art in the first edition monster manual is just, I mean, it was hilarious. It was so bad. Also, everything in first edition was a lot more dangerous. Well, I don't know. I think
be.
fifth edition monsters have gotten a lot tougher. Fourth edition monsters were really like fluffy and easy to kill. Fifth edition has kind of brought the danger back, which I'm kind of glad to see. But dude, first edition,
Provided
man.
you scale them up properly. If
Yeah.
you just stick with the basic creature rating thing and try to match it up to your party,
Ain't gonna happen.
I've
Yeah.
always had just straight easy
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, the theory was like a CR8 creature should be able to by itself go up against a party of 4 that are all at level 8. That is just
Well,
not true.
It's a no, it's a non-dangerous encounter though. Like no,
Yeah.
It's a matter that a party of 3. Is it 3? I think it's 3 as opposed to 4.
Oh.
No, it's 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
4. It's like 4 level 8 characters should be able to take a challenge rating 8 creature without really any threat of death. But if you raise that up to, but the idea is that if you raise it up by like 3 levels, just call it a challenge rating 11, that should be a potentially, someone might die as a result of that battle.
Yeah.
And that, I haven't really seen. It's possible we're just playing a little too smart, or it's possible that they don't really, it's like it factors ideal conditions
Oops.
for how that monster works. But usually I've had to either go up a lot higher or have more monsters in the group. I mean, once you start adding like having more than one monster, then you start getting things much more difficult because you have multiple enemies to distract against.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of multiple monsters, I just read an article last week. So Mike Merles, who was really responsible for like designing a lot of the 5th edition system, he's been playing around with going back to the old Greyhawk initiative, which is...
Oh yeah, that like every turn thing.
Yeah,
I
you
saw
roll initiative
part of
every
the
turn.
Video interview for that, and I'm looking at that, and it's like, well, my big thing is it's a matter of, okay, you have to decide what you're gonna do, and then you have to roll, and it's like, okay, well, so if you want to move and also cast like magic missile or whatever. And, it's sort of like the way I play is to get like as many, like I have a movement, I have an action, and then I have a bonus action that I can do like 15 different things with. And by combining them all, I get some really incredible things out of. So this system feels like it would be specifically crippling my particular
Yeah,
playstyle.
no, like the first thing I got off of the initiative, like just at first glance, was just fuck spellcasters, just fuck them. Like
Yeah.
they're too powerful.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
They need
you
to be
can
hobbled.
cast or you can move. And it's like,
Yeah.
no. You're a spellcaster. Give me like twice the armor class. Sure.
No,
I'll
you
stand
can
still and
cast
cast
and
spells.
move. It's just that adds your
You
like
go
it's
extra
yeah, the
slow.
it's like golf rules. Like the lower your initiative is, the better.
Yeah.
So you can cast, which I think is like a D10, and then move, which is like a D6. And so you're going to be going last. So, you can't really surprise someone with a fireball. And I actually totally see the value in that. And I don't know. When I first read it, I was like immediately like, no, no, no. But after I thought about it, I was like, this actually might make the fights into more of a story than the regular initiative. Like, it's way too complicated for
I
doing VR D&D. I'm definitely not gonna do it with these campaigns. But for a real life pen and paper thing, maybe, maybe one game I'd try it out. Because like I think that at least the
I
mental
like the
exercise of changing it
concept of
out.
having I like the concept of the initiative changing every round.
Hmm.
But I feel like that by itself could be its own thing. Like you don't have to go through and do
Yeah.
this weird, funky thing where you use these extra dice for each individual partition of a turn. It's just like, just do it the normal way. Just re-roll the initiative.
Hmm. And
I mean, that alone, it's like the bad guy could still go through it and get out beforehand.
oh,
But
so
if
kind of like
you
a hybrid
specifically
where like you re-roll initiative every round, but you still get your move action, yada yada yada.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem necessary to go through and add all this other thing, except he's trying to like simulate how
The
quickly that
chaos of
type
an
of
actual
action
fight,
can
yeah.
be. Well, it's like it's trying to simulate how quickly that action can be performed, and I feel like
Hmm.
it's putting way too much. It's like for me, if you're a spellcaster and it says that a spell takes one action to do, well, thank you. It takes one action to do. Why are you suddenly meaning that my initiative, I'm always going last practically if I want to cast a spell? Uh, and it's just like it's one action. It's the
Mhm.
same as if this
Well,
fighter
that is
takes
one thing
one
that the
attack or
Greyhawk
two
initiative
attacks or
does,
whatever.
is that it takes the idea of something that takes one action and actually makes it take longer. So
Yeah.
one action for a fighter is much faster than one action for a wizard. Although,
Exactly.
to be fair, I can kind of see the logic behind that. Hey, how's it going, MKill? So the room automatically mutes you whenever you get in for some reason. You're gonna have to manually unmute yourself if you're trying to talk.
But yeah,
No.
I saw that in the Unearthed Arcana that
Hmm.
they were talking about that initiative. Or
Yeah, and like
was it Unearthed
Mike
Arcana?
pretty much said on record is like, yeah, this is not going to replace the current initiative order.
Yeah.
Like it was made to be simple. This is just an
So
alternative,
common. Yeah.
like an alternative, which I think is kind of neat. I've always kind of liked the idea that like, let's say that you have a campaign that goes into the Feywild, where in the real world the initiative is just the like Orthodox fifth edition. Um, like initiative the way that it works. But in the Feywild, because it is kind of a more chaotic realm, maybe fighting does work differently because you don't really have a definite control on the passage of time the way that you do in the real world.
Hmm.
And so I think it would make for really interesting storytelling opportunities to have initiative maybe work differently on different planes.
Yeah.
So
I suppose.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
suppose the big thing. I suppose really the big thing about it is he wants a way to tie down what your action is before you know the circumstances surrounding that action.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's why he wants you to go through and do that. But I feel like it would be easier just simply to say, okay, before you roll your initiative, what do you want to do?
Mhm.
That kind of thing.
And that's the thing. Like, one of the reasons he
General
said
roll.
that one of the things he noticed from kind of doing game testing is that it caused all the players to formulate a plan that works together much more so
Yeah.
than regular initiative, where they just kind of like do their own thing, which is kind of neat. And also, it's still the generic action. So you say like, I'm going to cast a spell on my turn. They don't say that you have to call out what that spell has to be. Like maybe you were planning on casting Fireball.